Hello, welcome back to Satisfactory. I am Maker Gaming, and this is our electronics factory. Oh, that was an accident. What was I saying? This is our electronics factory. It is a whole lot of K-Terium production over here using sulfuric acid. Alt recipe, that's going to end up making us 1800 quick wire, which is kind of I'd say the heart of this electronics factory. So far we have 112 circuit boards, 30 AI limiters, and 25 high-speed connectors being made. And yeah, that's it for summarizing. Let's get to it. Thanks for watching. Now, I've noticed in the past few episodes we've done way too much explaining at the beginning, so I already explained that. Those are the ones we're making so far. These are the ones we have yet to make. Today we go here. We did this in the very first episode when we made the circuits. We used the spare silica, the spare quartz. So we already have that. So we need, what is that, 90-ish? No. 12.5 reinforced iron plates and the 70 wires, what we need to get 5 crystal oscillators. So that's the game today. Now we could either put our crystal oscillators on this second side of this bridge up here where we already have manufacturers, or my original plan was to kind of have 4 manufacturers there. We could probably fit 5, but it would be well into that type of space, I believe. I'm not even sure. It might be worth noting just so we know. I mean, that will inform our decisions on building. That was a good guess. So yeah, it'd be something like that, and we would have to plan for feeding belts and output belts. We'd probably keep it this orientation because of this landmass getting in the way of a bunch of inputs, but the output's only one line, so it's not as big a deal. Okay, so we know they'll fit if we want to do that. We'll leave them there till we decide later. I've decided in the last episode we're going to make a second tower. This is our tower making cable for that set of machines. So I did some routing last time, zooped this out, figured out that exact corner, and same with the height so that these will be the same floors. So now we have the exact same tower, and if we place it up there we'll have like a perfect spacing between them or some sort of bridge if we want, which is kind of the name of this factory so far. Lots of bridges. So yeah, I was thinking for that, we still have our blueprint design over there. I think we just alter it a little bit so that they don't look exactly the same, but real similar. I'm thinking at least light patterns. And I got to calculate what I need for the reinforced iron plates. Alright, these are our... Wow, we got a lot of choices. I like this one because it gets us one assembler. We have a blueprint that we use to design stuff. This one is for assemblers. Alright, so far we're looking at one assembler, and then I just did these, I picked some recipes, 30 ingots for 40 plates, that's our basic one. Cast screws getting us 12.5 ingots for 50 screws. So we need 5 constructors, 4.5 constructors, so that's 9, and that'll be 10 floors. It's a big tower already. And what is that? 197.5. So we need basically 200 ingots. Alright, so now we need the iron recipe. I think we're probably just going to go smelter, right? You know, I kind of like using these other recipes. Leached iron ingot, get out of here. That'll get us a 1:2 ratio. Just add limestone. I like that. So 50 per foundry. Alright, another sign. Instead of the assembler, we got a foundry here. 50 ingots per 25 and 40, so we need 4 foundries. And we only need 100 of that, but we do need 160. Okay. This is not too bad, right? So we got 1 assembler, 10 constructors, 4 foundries. And just from those raw materials, we'll get to that. So where do we start with that? We need to pick where to put our 4 foundries, which we have an area it's all coming from, so that's probably the smart place. Oh, we still gotta design that. I wonder how many floors this is. 8. Oh, that's perfect. So we have 10 there. And this is actually 2 lower, because I went even with the bottom of that one and it goes 2 floors down. You know what? I think I want the assembler on the roof. If the assembler goes on the roof, then we could drop it off this front side, and that would make sense to have the next set of manufacturers right here. Next to one of our Stinger buddies. Where is he? Should be right there. He'll be alright. I also have an idea. I don't really want to get into it right now, but I think we should put a sculpture here. That's the center point as far as I can tell from these 2 outputs. Alright, so we have our numbers. I guess we need our design. No, we need our foundries. 4 foundries before the tower. Our iron ore is coming from our route. And it's being deposited in there. Right there. We have 3 containers. Then our limestone is coming from this. And what are we actually pulling right now? Only 120 a minute because we're not using it for anything. We're just sinking it. Nice. What did I say we needed? 120? 40 and 4 is 160. Call it 180 for now. Will that cover most of this island? We got a perfect height going. Alright, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me come back. When I come back, we will figure out foundries are first. I think I want to just build without talking. You know what I haven't built in forever? Oh, lookout tower. Wow, I've never unlocked radar towers on this playthrough. That's funny. Kind of just thinking a simple base, but we can follow these lines a little bit. Do 45s. The way I still do 45s is corner, barrier. Alright, I'm just kind of screwing around with shape. I don't want to talk, just build. I think same theme as before. We're going to try and... We're doing iron, right? So I think the best metallic would be the chrome. So we'll go chrome heavy design. I don't really want a foundation, so I'm thinking maybe we start with some beams. And then we're going to cut in some beams just into the foundry. I like how that looks. Yeah, and these are looking okay, so we're just going to add some lights. I think the classic bright blue is the way to go for this build. Goes good with the chrome. Oh, and I see a lot of people like from scratch and excited guys in my Discord. Awesome creators. Check out their YouTubes. But yeah, I see them use the back ends of signs a lot for decoration. So I think I'm just gonna put this like as a railing around the beam foundation, and I think that's good enough. And then we'll add a merger belt coming off the front. We'll use some of those same sign tricks. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, offline I did some belting. That's fine. I'm pretty forgiving about my designs, and I'll just kind of go with them, but I just can't stand this. I can't stand that we're pretty damn organized over here in terms of using a lot of lifts, a lot of straight, and so these just annoy the shit out of me, especially because the last one I had to use a splitter, vertical splitter, and so even the curve is different for that last one, so we're definitely going to redo this. And I was thinking in my head we could do lifts from above. This is kind of annoying because we don't have the space, but I guess we can cantilever it. We got to go to at least here. Holding E there pulls up your wheel. What side's the inside? From the edges, it looks like that. Correct. We don't have to go all the way down anymore. The reason I did that is one of my last playthroughs, I did a big at the time, steel plant. And I had the coal coming in from one direction, and I had the iron coming in from the other direction, and it just caused all sorts of problems. So the reason I had that belt running down that way was so that both inputs were coming from the same side. And we'll make sure to make that happen from the top as well. H. How nice is that? We need... This is not that much, right? 140. Oh yeah, I love that so much better. Earlier it had to go wonk wonk wonk, and it looked ridiculous. Now, it's clean down here, and we'll just have lifts coming up for both. So we gotta do the same thing here. Input from that side, that's exactly what we want. So how does that look? Like shit. Maybe two more over will do it. Split the difference, idiot. You know, I like that this plan came about. I was never planning to build here, but it's nice to see all my old stuff while I'm building. Oh, I lost track. Oh, that's the right one. It's the only one. Alright, clean up and we have the bottom figured out. Much more organized up here. We'll treat upstairs like a bit of a logistics floor, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, that's officially a lot cleaner of a look. And I'll do the top belts offline. Be back with the working system. That's not right. Alright, give the illusion here some supports. We put these here to kind of block that rock from looking too weird coming out right there. Alright, the vibes I'm getting from that beginning part is I took too long. So, I did some stuff offline. I added a couple more bars to make that supported. And for power here, added some more lights, put lights all around the top of this. Kind of squared off. I want to change the shape a little bit, but just made it brighter. Like everything else, I want there to be like bright lights on all of them. Help differentiate sections. The other thing is the tower. We are ready. Alright, I took a screenshot. Let me just pop it up here. These are the differences I made. Instead of the 4 lights going up each rail, now we have 2 of the bigger lights. We did a bluer tint. We changed everything to chrome to match the iron look. We also added more lights to this diagonal bar. And we put the lifts on the outside. So like I said, it was going to match that, but a little bit different. So we have that saved, and let's build the next tower. Oh, we also did lights in the front. I didn't show that, but where's my picture? Deuterium wire, there should be a screw. There we go. Alright, so the front is the one with the extra lights. That's the front. We did a more aggressive lighting right there. Both show. Now blueprint mode should work, I'm hoping. I think it did the first time. Alright, give me a second. We need 10 of these. That was dope. Alright, we're just on 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Fix the ladder by just deleting every other one. It's alright. Alright, 200 a minute. Now we gotta route this to the back end of that. Coming up next. Yeah, I recorded a lot without any audio. So I'm just gonna stream a little bit of time-lapse footage together. 1.5 minutes. Vertical mergers, vertical lifts. Very nice addition to the game. I don't think I have too much. Oh yeah, here I'm actually decided on the bridge, and this is me doing the entire bridge with no audio. Very simple, just platform across the 2. Then we are going to add the 1 assembler we need to make our 15 reinforced iron plates. We're going to belt into it. We're going to have both of the materials coming in, going into large storages, and we will also have an awesome sink at the end of the bridge. And we'll have smart splitters set up. Just we got to be a little extra careful, right? Because everything going up that tower of 10 buildings, of 10 constructors, we have a hell of a lot of screws coming from the bottom and a lot less iron plates coming off the top. But because it's a sushi belt, we want to make sure nothing gets stuck at this splitter. So we're giving it a lot of extra room with these big storage containers and then the smart splitters also, so that we never get bogged down over here. I think. I guess we'll see in the future. But yeah, that kind of covers everything that's coming in. So what else is there to talk about? This is my last video like this longish form Let's Play. The editing has just gotten too much after 3 years, and but yeah, the editing has just gotten to be too much, so I'm going to try going forward to try and stick to more 10-15 minute episode lengths. I'll get into a little bit of random things, but mostly maybe I'll just be kind of summarizing steps. I really like how these areas are looking. Been taking a lot of screenshots of this build. Sorry, I got distracted by the content that I'm rewatching. This is just me putting some glass and some accents onto the bridge. Finish the roof of this building like I mentioned earlier. What else we got going? Lights, always lights. Just ignore that belt being slightly off level. Nice. I really like that this all came about organically, starting with that first circuit building. And I just got all this stuff sorted for the steel up here. Not steel, for the iron up here. So I'm just making it look a little more like a building. Because really this is just kind of holding our 2 sets of belts. One under the floor, one in the one above the floor. And I don't really remember what I was saying. Yeah, just expect shorter videos. I'm not really sticking to a 1-week schedule to myself anymore either, because life is just so busy. It's hard at the moment, so YouTube will slow down a little bit, and we'll spend less time on editing so that hopefully we can get a lot more done in the game. I feel like now that we're one more episode away from our electronics being complete for quite a while. You know, I'm not a huge builder. These numbers will get us, I think, pretty decent. So we can really start expanding after this. I think after the electronics factory, I know then we'll move to, what is it, turbo fuel, rocket fuel? That'll be our next big step, because we're going to need a big power boost from here. I know I skipped some. I might have skipped a lot. Put a roof on this. Change the bottom of this to asphalt. Change the shape a little bit. Added rails. Kept the tree. I believe I showed the tower, or the bridge, decorating the back end of it. I made a little opening for that. But I think I want to maybe match down here with up here. Similar, at least. And the spacing's pretty good. Love vertical nudge. I'm going to either not show any or just show it in time lapse. I don't know what to say when I'm just kind of designing. I wasn't going to check in until the very end, but I think I might have done too much offline to attempt that. So let's just go over what we did. Oh, one thing, we added lights. Those look good. So I did decide to go with the crystal oscillators down here on this cantilever. And basically, my idea was I kind of wanted to match something like this one, where all the belts were exposed and lots of lifts and things like that. But we had to go up because there's no room below and all the stuff's coming from above. Belts. Got our reinforced iron plates from the tower, or from the bridge actually, coming down this tower. We have our 90 quartz crystal coming from right here. And then I'll put the third material up here too. We'll fix these beams so they're not clipping. All the outputs are here. Simple glass roof so you can see through it. So I'll get off again because, like I said, I don't want to edit a 5-hour video. So now I need to come up with the wire. Oh, you know what? I think I did some calculations. I think I can get away with only 2 or 3 constructors. They might be here. Yep. So for 1 K-Tyrium ingot for 17.5 K-Tyrium wire, we get 140. That's all we need. Then, with the 140, we do 1 cable at 40 a minute, 1 cable at 30 a minute. And that gets us our 140, that gets us the 90 we need. Or whatever. 70? That gives us the 70 we need. So let me think of where to put 3 little constructors, probably near an output of K-Tyrium. And I'll be right back to show that final connection, and we'll start the crystal oscillators. Then we'll just have computers and supercomputers left in this factory. I think we're just going to do it right here. Nice small space with no real use. And clean up some of these assets. I'll be back. Oh, I also lit up the tower, which I like. So I took the spacing and the colors and the signs of this one for the top, and I took the spacing and the color and the signs of this one for the bottom. So it kind of ties the 2 towers together. Boom. Now I'll be back. Just show the most basics of this, just so you can kind of see where I'm putting it. The recipes, if anyone's recreating this. That's real funny to me. And then yeah, belting. Bring it all down here. I love how good the splitters and nudge and vertical nudge and all those different things work together now. It's so much easier to do something like this. Just a lot faster. Almost done. I ended up recording it because it was so small. It's just that. Paired the belts. Hopped on this train. Ceiling mount train. And we're good. We just need a power. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Game on. Filling up. Long fill times. Oh, it's them damn quartz crystals on Mark 1 belts. Hopefully that means they fill up at the same time though, and we get sync machines. Yes. That was nice. That's it, right? Another one in the books. 5 crystal oscillators a minute. That's the most I've ever made actually, which is funny because It's not a huge amount, but it is 5 manufacturers. I'll fix that belt. I'll fix that beam later. Here, just to prove it to you. It's gone for now. Thanks for watching. See how it looks in the scheme of it all. Needs lights first of all. And the colors are to match the crystal oscillator yellow and the glass, basically, the silicone wafer, but whatever that's supposed to be. But I just did a chrome. Chrome everything besides the yellow manufacturers. Why am I still talking? Thanks.